Please, I'm not praying to strictly teaching. So if you wait, you learn. So nobody is praying today. Today is pure science. Wait and learn. Okay, no, you talk I'm bright here. Bright here.
Bright. Yes, it's okay.
Better than that, huh?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of noise.
This should be good. Are you still hearing the noise? Are you still hearing the noise? This is Facebook.
No life already.
We can still change to.
You can switch it. Just okay. Welcome everybody. I hope we learn one or two today. Wherever you are, you should pardon me. So, Ugili, you seem to be the only one. You seem to be the only one that knows the actual spelling of the teaching magnet. Some people think that the magnet is MAGNET, but it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. The magnet is actually MAGNATE. So the disparity is not that it's a magnetor. No, the teaching magnet in this is not the magnetor. Rather, it is what is it called? The magnet, meaning someone who is a tycoon, a multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire, multi-trillionaire. So which means the vision is to become a tycoon through teaching. Okay, so meaning that I give you $1 billion teaching. That is why the name teaching magnet. So I hope today we will learn one or two. If I na talk I met I can swear in Igbo. If I na talk I met but I go see ụwa no ndị Igbo wetelo ife bo internet today. The work we are trying to express today is to show how our ancestors gave rise to the internet. The knowledge of our ancestors gave rise to the internet. Okay? How the knowledge of our ancestors gave rise to the internet. Is not showing from this. So you can flip the camera. So, for those on TikTok, I will advise you to come to Facebook. We are having a little challenge showing you on two cameras, both the Facebook and the TikTok. So, if the challenge insists, because our TikTok phone is bad, if our challenge insists, then we may have to discontinue TikTok and focus only on Facebook. Confirm if the Facebook is transponding fine. Is it transponding okay? So what we are about to show today is to show how Afa gave the internet from the work of Professor Philip EMEAGWALI'S by Dibia Foundation. When you are hearing of Afa, this is what we are about to express today. This is a sample of what Afa is. Okay? This is a sample of what Afa is. So, in the next 5 minutes, I will discontinue TikTok. Why I came to TikTok is to ask you, for those on TikTok, to come over to Facebook, because the Facebook will give you a better podium. In the next 5 minutes, locate me on Facebook, click on the page, Maazi Dibia, you will see me live. Maazi, M-A-A-Z-I, the same name you saw on TikTok. Use it and find me on my page on Facebook. If in the next 5 minutes, we will shut down our TikTok live and focus on our Facebook live. So, for now, let me do the introduction. If you like what we are doing, go to Facebook. This is Afa. Okay? This is the Afa Ugili. The Afa Ugili is under the Afa Akpukpala. Afa Akpukpala. Afa Akpukpala, depending on your tone, depending on your dialect, it's either done with Ugili or Agbodaga. Ugili is the seed. You know, ima Ugili ana lacha. Akọwa Ugili ewe nweta eweli emela afa. Maọbụ ewelu Agbodaga wee mela afa. Okay? Ọnkwa nke a na-akpa akpụkpala, under them ka a na-akpa afa akpụkpala. This is the afa akpụkpala. So I am here to show you how the internet started from this thing in my hand. That is the work I'm about to do today. I'm about to show you how the internet, the entirety of the internet, started from this. That this is the ancient internet which our ancestors used. Now, this is the Afa. But I want you to know that the first bit of computer system started from 4 bits. I repeat, the first bit of the computer started from the 4 bits. This is the 4 bits. 1, 2, 3, and the 4. You can see it 4 bits. Now, this is binary. The binary is 1. When it is like this, it is 1. When it is like this, it becomes 0. When it shows you face up, it is 1. When it shows you face down, it is 0. You don't need me to start referring you to mathematics, basic mathematics of binary, when it is 1 and 0. 1 is yes, and 0 is no. So 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. As na voice mother audible. Amas come here game. Somebody said my voice is not audible. Confirm. How bad is my voice? Really? Every other person confirm, is my voice really down? TikTok said they can hear me. Okay. I'll try and filter my voice again, enhance my voice. Please, if you cannot hear me, please run over to Facebook. Now, TikTok. Now, this is the Afa Mkpukpala. Some people say Afa Mkpukpala, depending on your language. But the basic mathematics that our ancestors used, this is not religious belief. I'm making this teaching because of Fada Angelo Fada Angelo Chidi Unegbu, a Catholic priest who says that Afa and necromancy is actually religious belief. I'm here to show him that Afa is not religious belief. It's a pure science. The problem is that our people don't understand it. I'm about to reveal the science behind this. What you have in my hand is the bedrock of computer. Everything you have in that is computer oriented, everything you have in your life that is working on that algorithm starts from this. Now, the foundational knowledge is what I'm about to show you. This is the binary. Binary means 2. Okay? We have the ternary, we have the quaternary, means the ones that is 5, and the ternary 3, quaternary is 5. But I am concentrating on binary because computer starts on binary. Now, I think by this time I have to clean the board. You've gotten the message on the board. I will explain why they chose binary for doing this. I will show you why they chose binary. Imagine this is a graph, the x and the y axis in your graph. Basic mathematics. X, y axis. Where is your y axis? This is your y axis. And this is your what? X axis. So imagine this is your graph. And you are plotting the derivative of 2 factors, the plus and the minus. The plus and the minus. You should know that, let's say you are plotting for this. If it's yes or no, we will having a swinging yes or no, yes or no. Yes or no. A uniform flow. A uniform flow. A uniform flow. Yes or no. Because it's either it is yes or it is no. Let's say that Y represents the yes and X represents the what? The no. Which means when it is yes, it tilts up. When it is no, it tilts down. This duality consciousness is hidden in the concept of Afa. This duality consciousness is the principle whereby everything made on earth lies on. The Igbo people call it akose. Because Iyoji or the Miller job is a concept of yes or no. Your choices, I've taught it before. It's also in this concept that we have what we call chi neke. Chi and neke. I've told you this is how electricity functions. The positive energy and the negative energy. Polarity of plus and what? Minus. Which means binary is life. Everything in life is based on binary. Now, which means if I tell you, will you eat yam? Your answer is either yes or what? No. Chibika, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. If I ask you, will you eat yeliji? If you answer me yes, 1. If you answer me no, 0. So when we say let's, in mathematics, when we say let's yes equals to 1 and no equals to 0. We've defined the binary. Whenever the computer sees yes, it will show us again 1. Then whenever the computer sees no, it will show us what? 0. That is what is programming. Programming is using yes and no to tell the computer what he wants to see. I can boldly tell you that the way you are seeing me now is because Dr. Usumensa from Ghana created what we call fiber optics. Is he affecting this one? Yeah. Dr. Usumensa from Ghana created what we call fiber optics. That fiber optics is telling the computer to accept yes or no, to give yes or no, a binary number of 1 and 0 to your graphics. That is why you are seeing me now. You think you are seeing Mars, but why you are seeing Mars is because the fiber optics working in this TikTok and Facebook have interpreted my vision, my image, transponded it to a binary series of 1 and 0, arrange it parallelly so that you can transpose it under lateral inversion. That's why you are seeing me today. Okay? So the basic knowledge is here, the 1 and 0. Every computer bit has 4 bits as the foundational knowledge. Check. The first bit that came, 4 bits gave us 8 bits. 8 bits gave us 16 bits, right? 16 bits, 32 bits. 4 megabytes gave us 8 megabytes. 8 megabytes gave us 16 megabytes, right? Now watch how it works. This is 1 bit. This is 2 bits. This is 3 bits. And this is 4 bits. Right? Now, in the Bible, you saw something they called the Urim and the Thummim. For it to be Urim and Thummim, the person that will do the Afa for you will hold it this way. Do double. This side represents the Urim, this represents the Thummim. Now, in the Yoruba language, it is called Oduifa. Oduifa, Odumeji, 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 Odu, 2 Odu is Meji. Okay? Aka afanabo in Igbo. Aka afanabo. Aka afanabo. Aka nina aka ekpe. Now, this is Aka and Ose.
That's not the voice is faster than the picture.
The voice is faster than the picture.
They are not synchronized.
Mma abalonya na-akpọrọ m mba.
And second, this thing shift it down.
Please stop discouraging me with your calls. So that can flow way too sick.
shift the light back a little bit. Shift the up or up. Yes, better.
Now, so every computer system, be it your calculator, your phone, understands this. Anything you are telling it, computer will interpret it as 1 and 0, which is either yes or no. How do electric current flow? Remember, in physics, we said a wavelength is the distance between two successive crests or troughs, right? The distance between two crests or two troughs is the wavelength. So in physics, the distance from here to here is what we call what? Lambda. Lambda is the symbol for wavelength, right? This is wavelength. But this is wavelength at the crest. This is also wavelength. This is wavelength at the trough. People that will understand me better are people that are science inclined. So this is wavelength at the crest. This is wavelength at the trough. Now, to calculate wavelength, the formula for wavelength is W equals to frequency times what? Lambda. Okay? This lambda is the distance between these two successive crests or trough. The distance from here to here, the distance from here to here is the wavelength. The distance from here to here, distance from here to here is the wavelength. Which means wavelength for crest, wavelength for trough must be sinusoidal. That is how electricity came to be. Sinusoidal current. When we say that V is equals to IR, plotting voltage against current, to plot the chart of the impedance, the resistance. Is that not what we said in basic electricity? Now, moving further, I am trying to express that everything in life, electricity of Michael Faraday, gives free energy, enthalpy, entropy, thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, unit operation, heat transfer. Everything is working under the basic principle of 1 and 0. It's either it's yes or no. Please, those on TikTok, if they are disturbing me, they should come. Can I not here?
Among the number, just keep on watching. They are obstructing this one and this one as well. Just keep on watching. All the call. I have fun in online and now.
So, don't worry. By the grace of our ancestors, when we have our research center, we will have a better podium where our camera, digital camera, will be showing our teachers. Today will be the last day we will have to suffer this kind of suffer. So it's quite understandable. It is quite understandable. So I pray that we learn from what I'm trying to explain. Now, I am trying to express that everything you know in science is from the foundational knowledge of yes or no. And I ask you a question. Will you eat yam? Your answer is either you tell me yes or you tell me what? No. Now, I will now interpret my graph and say, let yes equals to 1 and also equals to what? Plus. And let's no equals to 0 or equals to what? Minus. Which means anywhere the computer sees 1, anywhere the computer sees yes, it's either it interprets it or 1 or as what? Plus. It's either it interprets it as 0 or what? Minus. So plus or minus polarity. Yes or no, affirmative. In English language, in communication, binary becomes affirmative. What is affirmative? So in communication, in Igbo language, which means this yes is equals to no, is that not? So I need our own program, they can be Igbo. Our program will say, now, going further, let's come back to where we started. This is the Afa. The computer internet you know today that Philip EMEAGWALI gave us, which saved Steve Jobs from bankruptcy. I repeat, if not for Philip EMEAGWALI, Steve Jobs that has iPhone today will be bankrupt because he has already lost his company. You saw it in the video I posted today. Steve Jobs that started iPhone already lost out in the company until an Igbo man whose name is Philip EMEAGWALI from Onitsha came to his rescue with what? This. The knowledge of this. I'm trying to explain this in the way you understand. Now, when Afa shows up, it is yes. It is closed. If it closes, it becomes what? No. Now, but under this or the Afa language is 16 in number. The Afa language is 16 in number. Check my teaching. I've listed the 16 different Afa language, which means each of these phase has its own name, depending on how it turns with respect to the other. I don't know if you are getting my point, Chidi. Depending on how depending on how it faces, if it faces up with this one, whether this one face up or face down, whether it faces, depending on how it faces, it shows different name. Now, this is 4 beats with another 4 beats. 4 plus 4, 8 beats. Now, this is another 4 beat plus another 4 beats. 8 plus 8, 16 beats. Now, this 16, each of the 16 has individual names. And there is something we call in mathematics permutation and the combination. Permutation and combination. Now, let's use 4 Afa names. Aka, Ose, Agali, and Ululu. Let's use 4 of these names to explain how the computer will see the command, what our ancestors did with their brain. Now, the Dibia is the person who will do the Afa for you. The Dibia that has the AGWU of ABIANKATA, right? Now, for factorial number 1 in these 4 bits, right? I'm explaining this 4 now, right? This is 4. The 4 faces. 1 will be Aka, Ose, Agali, and Ululu. There is possibility that you will have Aka, Ose, Aka Ululu, Aka Agali. Then what? Aka number. Do you get my point now? I don't know if you understand what I mean. Aka Ose, Aka Agali, Aka Ululu, and Aka upon itself. Meaning, if we say 4 factorial in mathematics, is it not 4 times 3 times 2 times 1? This one is the single thing because, remember, Akanabo means Aka. Do you get my point? I hope you know that Akanabo is Aka. Abi? Remember, in mathematics, log of a number to the base of the same number is equal to what? 1. Is that not it? Log of a number to the base of the same number is 1. Logarithm is alpha, which means instead of you to say Aka, 4 factorial, factorial 4 is Aka Ose. Times 3, factorial 3, Aka Ululu. Factorial 2, Aka Agali. Factorial 1, Aka, which is Aka number. Log of a number, log of Aka to the base of Aka is what? 1. I don't know if it's making sense. This is what our ancestors knew already in their brain. Already in their head. That log of a number to the base of the same number. So, what did Philip EMEAGWALI did? Philip EMEAGWALI said, okay, remember, is anybody understanding this? Ask them.
Yes.
Are you getting this?
Yes, they understand.
So, what did Philip EMEAGWALI did? He did something beyond their sense. What did he do? Philip Emeagwali, being a very smart, intelligent professor, understood that the world is busy doing serial processing, serial arrangement of processor. What do I mean by serial? Remember, in electricity, when we say, let this be an electrical circuit, let this be V, and let this be electrical circuit. I hope you can understand when I say that this is the switch. Then we can say, okay, this is two resistance in series. This is two resistance in series, Abi. Then this is current. Two resistance in series. The voltage, two resistor in series, one resistor in parallel. Now, let me make it this way. Let's say this is another resistor here. This is two resistance, Abi. Now, this resistance is in parallel with this. What is parallel? When something is like this and like this, or like this and what? Like this. So, parallel is whether they are arranged vertically against each other or horizontally against each other. So, Philip Emeagwali discovered that the whole world, more than 450,000 professors and researchers, scientists in computing, is busy doing serial and serial arrangement. Remember in basic electricity, if you arrange a battery in series, the tendency for it to last, and if you arrange it in parallel, the tendency differs because of the load, power dissipated, okay, impedance, and resistance. Is that not? So when we begin to say, find the capacitive reactance, I'm taking this thing too far. Let me come down a bit. Makandi. So I'm trying to say that this is parallel. Okay. This one A, let me label this one A, and label this one B.
Are they positive and negative?
No, this one now they have positive and negative end.
Okay.
This side may call this side positive, call this side negative. Call this side positive, call this side negative. Right? Now A is in parallel with what? B. You get my point? Mm-hmm. But this, call this one Y, call this one Z. Y is in series with what? Z. I don't know if you get my point now. Series is when they are in the same straight line. Parallel is when they are arranged vertically against or horizontally against. So Y is in series with Z, but A is in parallel with B. Philip Emeagwali, being a very creative thinker, thought of something. Okay. Dibias that Afa, you will understand this one better. I hope you know that I said by law of inclusivity, it means that AB is equals to BA. Is that not it? Law of association. A of AB is equals to BA. Abi? Because A times B will give us B times what? Times A. Is it not? That is why if I tell you that Aka Ose is equals to Ose Aka. I don't know if you get me. Right? Mind you, when I told you that Ora Obala, Ora, another alpha word, Ora, right? Plus Obala. Is it supposed to be the same thing as Obala? Obalora. Do you get it now?
Yes.
So the computer, which is the alpha, the supercomputer, which is the alpha, already know that when you read it from left to right, you can read Orobala. Orobala go ekwensu. You can also read it from right to left. Obalora. Do you get my point now? Akose, Osaka, Agali Ululu, Ululu Agali, Etodi, Odiete, Akwa Obala, Obala Akwa, Etobi, Ubiyo Ete, Okalete, Eto Okala, Okali Ijite, Ijite Okala. Do you get my point now? So, by the principle of A times B, AB is equals to BA, we can get our variables. Now, this is what Philip EMEAGWALI did. Philip EMEAGWALI now said, this is the binary, right? This is the 4 bits. How can I arrange this 4 bits to make this Dibia? Watch me now. Watch me now. One Dibia comes to your house with only this one. He's working on 16 bits. 16-bit information, right? Sometimes if I want to do Afa, I will bring this thing. You see 4 like this now. Another 4 like this. Mwanka. Mwanka. I don't want to use 16-bit information. I want to increase my processor speed to what? 32 bits. 16 plus what? 16. Now I will begin to make Afa. I will begin to interpret the Afa. Oh, in 16-bit, I mean now war yofu. Nchop equals on war again. That is, if I pour it, if I want to talk again, but because I'm using 4. But if I'm using 4,
that is
8.
You are processing on
faster.
Okay.
Do you see how computer works now? Okay. So now, when a Dibia comes, now if a Dibia want to do pararam for you, the Dibia will come with 4 into 3 or 4 into 4. Open your wire, wah. Or Dibia. 8 Dibias, ABIANKATA. We carry this thing, pour it. Let me give you an example. Mazi Dibia ndo dekwa. Or wire name table. Wow. 8 Dibias, pia. Now we bido here. Agali lulu, odi otule, jito se, orodi, iwata. Ogugidie, he's faster because he's moving in the 8 Dibias. His processor speed is what? Higher. I don't know if you get me now. Now, Philip EMEAGWALI now said, how do I make this computer to interpret the answer they will get together and faster? Now, watch how it will happen. Listen to me now, A1. Do you know if the Dibia arrange it in series? Get why I said series. If the Dibia arrange it in series, Dibia 1 is here, Dibia 2 is here, Dibia 3 is here, Dibia 4 is here. If the Dibia want to care therefore, what will he do? He will be going, wasting time. He will go from Dibia 1, next Afa, Dibia 2, Dibia 3 to Dibia 8. But if they arrange it in parallel, watch now. Afa 1, Dibia 2, name, Dibia 3, Dibia 4, Dibia 5, Dibia 8. He will sit in one place. Next the Afa. Okay, Lonyenka. He's seeing it in one go. Which one is faster? The one he will move or the one he will just gaze?
The one he will just gaze at.
Looking at it, he will tell you the Afa. But moving, that is what Philip EMEAGWALI did. The series connection is arranging the Dibias.
This thing will get saved on TikTok.
It will save on Facebook. Let them find it on Facebook. TikTok doesn't save. What Philip EMEAGWALI did is to understand as an Igbo man that it is faster to get this thing when arranged in parallel than to arrange it in series. They have been arranging it in series. It is wasting time. Philip EMEAGWALI shortened it and arranged it in what? Parallel. But do you know how many he arranged to give you the supercomputer? Do you know how many? Philip EMEAGWALI arranged this Afa into 4,096 Dibias. Somebody should press their calculator. The processor speed the whole world used today for the internet is working under 65,536 knowledge of Afa. Quote me, according to Philip EMEAGWALI. I repeat, 65,536. Now, for you to know whether it is truly from Afa, divide the 65,536 bits by 16 that is using this. Do you know what you get? 4,096. It means that Philip EMEAGWALI, in his sense, was thinking about 4,096 Dibias holding their Ugili like this. I don't know if you understand. And Philip EMEAGWALI now asked them, will this rain fall today? Yes or no? 4,096 Dibia poured the Afa immediately in parallel and gave him a conclusive answer in 1 minute. He said, okay, you people, you are not fast. I need it in 30 seconds. They poured the Afa, pam, gave him the answer in 30 seconds. He said, okay, I don't want it in 30 seconds. Bring it to me in what? In 1 second. They poured the Afa. They gave him the answer in what? In 1 second. That is what Philip EMEAGWALI did. That made him the god of computer. Okay? So, it means that the 65,536 bits is working under 4,096 16 combination of Dibias with a full Afa in their hand. So they could give the answer in bits. Each person has their own algorithm. You combine your answers with, imagine now, if 4,096 Dibia have their Ugili. Okay, let me use a close number. If 4 Dibias have Ugili, and they pour their Ugili, piam, and 3 over 4, 3 inside 4 of them said yes. Which one will you take?
3. That's yes.
That yes of 3. You needed a yes in your answer. For example, that is why I tell you that if you go to a Dibia to check yes or no, what you do is AGWU. Ijekata Ogu. Now tell the Dibia, you say Ogu, no give up. No, if I Unegbu bezoku. Able it all my sage maja na chukwu agbagi. Ebo say aso bola da megen ikpokwasi. Iwe tell the Dibia nki, iwe tekwa Ogu nke bo say no go up na if I Unegbu bo ase. It all my sage maja na chukwu megen agbagi ekposi aja one. Now, iwe jeli Dibia nki izi or kabo kalatule or kabo kalatule. Okalatule means he begins to permutate and combinate, permutate and combinate, permutate and combinate, doing the factorials and summation to tell you, okay, it is a yes. Because when will he tell you it's a yes? Until the Afa will say, etose. Are you getting my point? Etose. That is when you hear Dibia saying, etose. When the Afa comes, etose, it's just like after solving maths, you say, Q-E-D. Are you getting my point now? So when the Dibia arrive at permutation combination, on I call kalatule, kadido kalatule, or where does yana, etose, or two for second number, if any of the Megan, now I'm going to meaning, Ijeleno Jelano never can get him. I say, no, but one net or net or say, go home. Now, 4 Dibias. Now, inside 4 Dibia, 3 Dibia gave you a toss. What are you waiting for? The answer is no yes. Yes. That is the principle of binary. This is the 16 bits, 4 bits, 8 bits, 4 plus 4. 8 plus 8, 16. The 16 bits. Now, 2 Dibia come together. Check how your megabyte started. Let me expose it now for you to know. From 4 bits, 8 bits. From 8 bits, 8 plus 8, 16 bits. The next megabyte, 2 Dibias, 16 plus 16, 32 bits. The next megabyte, 32 plus 32, 64 bits. Where the year come? 64 bits. What life can I get? Yes. 64 bits. You see it now. 64 bits. Now, 64 bits means how many Dibia have come? 4 Dibias. Yes. Because 16 times 4 is 64 bits. Now, that Dibia brings another Dibia again. The 4 Dibia bring another 4 Dibia. 64 plus 64, 128 bits. Even the speed your music plays is working under this binary. Because is that your music is playing on 128 bits per second, or what? When the 8 Dibia brings another 8 Dibia, it becomes 256 bits. Okay? How did you have your memory card? 8 gig, 16 gig, 32 gig, 64 gig, 128 gig. Another one is what? 512. Is that not it? 128. When the 16 Dibia called another 16 Dibia, it becomes what? 128 gig. It becomes what? 512 gig. 512. or let's use bit so it will be close, 512 bit. Now, the 512 bit called another Dibia equal to their number. It becomes 1024, 1 terabyte. So everything started from this binary, 1 or what? 0. 4 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits called person, 16 bits, 16 bits called another person, 32 bits, 32 bits called another person, 64 bits. So Philip EMEAGWALI, instead of arranging them in series, found a mathematical, let me shout for you.
I shout.
Can do the nonsense, Yobo.
Don't shout.
If you call me, I said, don't call me. Why are you calling me again? So, if you arrange it in series, it will take you longer leg to go and call them. Everyone, are you following? If you take you time to go and look at, oh, but if you arrange it in parallel, Nirum, rows, and what? Column. So Philip EMEAGWALI boycotted arranging it in column and arrange it in rows. So you can sit here and see what they are saying. You can now flip camera.
So no, I'm the 90.3. So does it mean how Philip EMEAGWALI'S will convert is into
Somebody is asking question. How does Philip EMEAGWALI convert this to become a how did Philip EMEAGWALI master what to do to make this from to make this from a written knowledge to a computer knowledge? The thing is simple. There is something we call simulation in engineering. Are you listening? If you are a scientist, you must understand simulation. Simulation is a basic knowledge whereby putting things that you are using into a mathematical language. Are you getting my point? So it is just simple simulation. He looked for a triple integral differential, an advanced calculus that will convert all these things from a simple, the one you know, like I told you now. Okay, let me explain it better now. Listen, do you know why people fail word problem leading to quadratic equation? Why they are failing is because they don't understand the English. For example, somebody said, find a number which is thrice the gross. Now, if you understand mathematical language that gross means 144, you've known that the number you are looking for is what you will make into 3 to give you 144. If the person does not know that gross is 144, other better the mass. Why we are failing today is because they are teaching us in a language not indigenous to us. Do you get my point? If they taught us in the language we knew, we would have done better. That is why China is progressing. Japan is progressing. Why Africa is not progressing is because they didn't teach us in a language I am. Can you go to here in Igbo? Chotakana no boy abe gbakonye okpukpu ito. Onye ge ogu ito. Imata balance ya. Chotana boy abe wetu okpukpu ito. Onye ge ogu ito. Chotana boy abe gbatu ugboro ito. Ogu ito kwa 60. Mwesi ge chotana boy abe gbatu okpukpu ito onye ge ogu ito which is 60. Kedu ife eme? Ori iwelu ogu ito divide here with ito. Inweta ofu ogu 20. 60 divided by 3 20. Now the problem is that somebody says my voice is coming too. Is my voice okay? Is my voice okay? Comment. Now the problem becomes if these people taught us in our native language. For example, I said it that if you are doing Afa today in this 21st century and you are not mathematically inclined, shut up. You don't know Afa. Afa is a deeper science, a mathematics on its own. Now, remember when we say probability of outcome, right? But this one is you are working in probability, you are working with variable. Okay? But in Afa, you are working with a constant. Why? The thing you have is not variables. It's a positive integer. Meaning that it is a constant. Ora becomes Ora wherever you see it. Ululu becomes Ululu wherever you see it. Odi becomes Odi. ete becomes ete. Agali is agali, ogeli is ogeli. Wherever you see them, they are constant. They are not variables. So this is not probability. This is what we said in physics, Heisenberg uncertainty principle. In physics, Heisenberg said it is impossible to determine the exact position of time. The uncertainty in the positioning is represented by 6.03 times 10 raised to the power minus 34. Is that not mathematics? All those nonsense is just to give you a basic simulation of what you want to do. That is what Philip EMEAGWALI did. Philip EMEAGWALI understood calculus to the advancement that he simulated his knowledge of ABIANKATA, the alpha, into a mathematical correlation. In statistics, we call it correlation analysis. Okay? Now, what are we trying to tell me? I'm trying to tell you this, that if Africa today goes back to the knowledge of self, if Africa begins to teach with our language, if we start teaching you physics, chemistry, quantum physics, metaphysics, industrial chemistry, microbiology, okay, with your native language, I challenge you, no human being on earth, no human being on earth will challenge us. Okay? Now, why do I say this? Now, nobody, this is why I am angry with Ohaneze and Igbo. Nobody in Ohaneze and Igbo go to school tomorrow, Chibike, ask secondary school students who are into science. How many of you knows the man called Philip EMEAGWALI? Are you listening to me? How many of you knows Philip EMEAGWALI? I bet you in that class of 100 students, you might find out that none of them knows Philip EMEAGWALI. How can Igbo student who is aspiring to be a scientist not know that there is somebody from his root who have already achieved a greater height in science? Now, why didn't we mold Philip EMEAGWALI in all our states, in all our schools, every school in Africa, every school in Igbo land? Let me start from Igbo because charity begins at home. Every school in Igbo land should have the picture of Philip EMEAGWALI. Why? Because if you want to achieve greatness, you need to look up to somebody who have already what? Achieved greatness. Another thing that this guy called Best Lives pointed out in his teaching today is this. Number one, do you know that the almighty Philip EMEAGWALI only have 5,000 subscribers on YouTube? A1. Almighty Philip EMEAGWALI has only 5,000 followers on YouTube. How many millions are the number of Igbos? Almighty Philip EMEAGWALI have 5,000 followers on YouTube. Shame to my generation. Which means, Big Brother Niger, how many million followers does he have? This is where our interest is. The guy said, you are following Ronaldo, right? I love the way the guy did the video. You are following Messi, right? You are following Kim Kardashian, you are following Nicki Minaj, Rihanna. But you are not following Philip EMEAGWALI. We are a failed generation. Now, everywhere you go, they post picture. Mama and Blue, whether Pacific Maria. Nobody to motivate you, to teach you that black people actually did it right. No picture of Philip EMEAGWALI in your school. No picture of Professor Zilo. Do you know Professor Zilo? Anybody here know Professor Zilo? Professor Zilo was the Igbo man that solved Fermat's last theorem. I repeat, Professor Zilo was the Igbo man who solved postulated what we call a Zilo's. Now the question becomes, if Professor Zilo is an Igbo man, do you know him? You don't know him. If Philip EMEAGWALI is an Igbo man, do you know him? You don't know him. If Owusu Mensah from Ghana, the one that gave you fiber optics, is an African, you don't know him. You don't know him. How many places in Ghana was the head of Owusu Mensah molded? How many places in Nigeria was the first head of Philip EMEAGWALI molded? How many places in Igbo land was the head of Professor Zilo molded? I don't know if you get me. Okay, we have somebody that is still alive now. Philip EMEAGWALI. We have Professor Nechukwu na Nnobi. Professor Nechukwu is still alive. Have they named any streets after Philip EMEAGWALI? No. Have they named any street after Ezilos Constant? No. Have they named any street, Federal Highway, after Professor Chikobi? No. Do you get my point? Have they named any stadium after these people? No. Who are their celebrities? The people they made us to celebrate are non-entities with big nash and big breasts. So you are setting a wrong role model from the youth. The youth are seeing non-entities as role models. Now, our girls are now seeing that when you have big breasts, you are made for life. But we have somebody like a late Mrs. Catherine Achalon. How many of us knows Catherine Achalon? In how many schools will I see the picture of Catherine Achalon today? In how many schools? A1. How many people even know the works of Catherine Achalon? Okay, our own very late Dora Akonyele. How many people knows their work? So, who are you positioning to the youth as role model? Who are we positioning to the youth as our own role models? The youth are drawing their role model from a bunch of hooligans. Those that will go extra mile to enlarge their bomb. These are the people we made the internet to push as celebrity. Algorithm favors them. With due respect to Brain Jota posted a video 2 days ago. 6.4 million views. 2 days. I'll post a teaching content. After 1 year. Me and the video go to struggle. You don't watch me, or you never watch me. Prophet Rolex will post a video where he's eating. 10 million views. Get my point. This is not envy against my brothers. They are my brother. I'm showing you how it works. The algorithm favors that thing that will not boost our economy. That thing that will not promote intellectual intercourse among the youth. The algorithm favors those nonsense cyberbudge. Type cyberbudge on the internet now. You see cyberbudge as top search. Why? The algorithm will favor podcast where emptiness is done. Will the algorithm favor podcast when intellectual repercourse is discussed? When brainstormings are done? Where we are breaking protocols of propinquity in science, where we are challenging the norms of the matrix, the algorithm will not favor it. Because the algorithm is working against us. Do you get my point? So, who are you showing your children as role model? Who are you showing your children as model? That is why one young boy have the effrontery to say that I'm making content. I look at him and I laugh. I said, Ma, Dibia, making content. My brother, I have every other thing to do with my life. Even if I never the I wouldn't be doing it. Even I wouldn't be doing this. I have every other thing to do. Or the moment now boss is on our heat. Our people are sleeping too much. Our people are sleeping too much. Our people are sleeping so much. Now, the brains in our land. Okay, we'll go hati na seminary school. Pana choka ablo Fada na. Every day muna hana maka na Facebook. Ngwabia ka ime challenge na Jesus abrezio. If I can na yaluf every day. Because the best brains that would have become the next Philip EMEAGWALI is in the seminary school. Kedu ya na-ekwu na seminary school? Ọ na-etu Jesus ji wee ya abi wozo. That is why when the notification na phone by na ejoka update your Bible. Njụọ Play Store. Ọmụ update your Bible a ka ọ bụzie na Jesus ebitez n'ọnwụ mbọsị nke ịtọ. Ka ọ bụrụ na ọbọzi 5 So if I update my Bible now, or ka ọ bụzie na Jesus enwezi ụmụazụ 12. He said he's verified the inactivity. I should verify that I'm still live.